Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our continuing live coverage of the QubicaAMF World Cup. Here from Krasnoyarsk, Russia, I'm Lucas Wiseman, Bull TV. Thank you for joining us. It's finally time for match play here at the World Cup. And we are in practice and should get started in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so 23 and 24 is going to get a couple of extra minutes of practice because they had a jam during the first couple of minutes, so they are going to get some additional practice. This is the time where we all need to work together and get as many viewers as we can here on the live streaming, so please take a minute before we get started here for score. Go on Facebook, go on Twitter, and let everybody know that we've got the live streaming going on. Share the link. Hey, if you want to go to my Twitter page, @Lucas_Wiseman, you can just retweet the tweet that I made. Or if you want to go to my Facebook page and just share my post, I'm at facebook.com/LRWiseman. So you can find me in a couple of different places to be able to share the link so we can get as many folks watching as possible. The men and the women are bowling at the same time today. And we will have one featured pair for the women and one featured pair for the men. All right, whistle just blew, so that means we are ready to get started with match play. All right, so what's the format? Very simple. We've got 8 more games. It's round robin match play, so everybody bowls, everybody one match on the men's side and the women's side. After 7 games, we have a position round, where number 1 bowls number 2, number 3 bowls number 4, etc. There are 30 bonus pins for each win. 30 bonus pins for each win. 15 bonus pins for a tie. Match number 1 on the featured pairs. It's Singapore's Sherry Tan versus the Philippines' Maria Lourdes. And on the men's side, it's Sweden's Peter Hillström against Russia's Alexei Parshikov. So we get things started expecting a high-scoring round. And again, remember, each match is vitally important with 30 bonus pins on the line. And it's going to be a very interesting round here. A lot to keep track of. The men's side, much more bunched up at the top of the standings than the women. The women, you've got 3 women who are kind of a little bit ahead of the field. But on the men's side, it's very close. Peter Hellstrom is only 175 pins ahead of Alexei Parshikov. And by the way, you're going to hear a lot of cheering for the Russian. This is his home country, and they've got people with Russian flags out here and all kinds of stuff. So there's only 175 pins that separates first from 8th in the men's side, which means anybody could make the top 3 for the stepladder. Because the top 3 after these 8 games advances into the stepladder finals on the men's and the women's side. So all of the men have a legitimate chance to make it into the top 3 without question. Only 175 pins separating first from 8th, and only 96 pins separating 3rd from 8th. So very, very close on the men's side with these 8 games to go. All the pins carry forward, by the way. 24 games of qualifying, 8 games from yesterday in the round of 24. We've got 32 total games. We will add 8 more games to that today, plus bonus pins. Now on the women's side, it's a little bit less competitive from top to bottom. Caroline Lagrange of Canada leads, and she has 675 pins ahead of 8th place. 675 pins ahead of 8th. And Danielle Almiguera of the Dominican is 2nd. Danielle McEwen of Team USA is 3rd. 437 pins ahead of 8th place. And you've got about 170 pin gap between 3rd and 4th. So while it is not impossible that somebody could make a run at the bottom of the women's standings, it is unlikely at this point to make the top 3. Alright, so the scoreboards are at the top of your screen. You'll be able to see those matches. Philippines and Singapore on the left side, Russia and Sweden on the right. Peter Hellstrom of Sweden currently leading by 11 and just left the 10 pin. It's going to be a little harder to tell them apart today because they are wearing shirts provided to them by QubicaAMF. Although you can see the country names on the top, I think, relatively clearly. And you'll notice they don't bowl match play pace or PBA professional style pace. They pretty much are bowling when their name's up, it looks like. That's what they've been instructed to do. We've got Philippines leading Singapore by 4 after 4 frames this match. And Sweden up by 10 on Russia after 4 frames. You can find the results, live scoring, all kinds of information at QubicaAMF.com. Again, QubicaAMF.com is where you can find all of the information on this event. Live scoring is also there. Parshikov just tied up the match with Hellstrom. women's semifinal and final this afternoon, scheduled for 2 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, which is going to be 1 a.m. on the east coast of the United States. And it should be 7 a.m. Well, let me do the math here. Yeah, I believe 7 a.m. Central European time. And then the men are scheduled to start at 4 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, which is 3 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, and 9 a.m. Central European time. Sherry Tan of Singapore working on a double. Has taken a 14-pin lead in this match, and she can push it to 24 with another strike, and she does. The only person I see who has started with a string of strikes is Guy Kaminsky, who's got the front 4. And there's another strike from the Russian. Like I said, going to be awfully loud in here as Alexei Parshikov leads now by 9 pins. Nope, looking at the wrong scoreboard. My apologies. 13-pin lead for Alexei Parshikov. If you're just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. I'm Lucas Wiseman of Bowl TV. Thank you very much for joining us. Please, please, please go on to Twitter, Facebook, and spread the word about the live streaming. We need you to share the link. I want to get that number up to 1,000 viewers in this round, so please help us out. It's very important that we support bowling and we support events like this, so please spread the word. And we will see all of the competitors at some point during this round, because all of them will bowl on 21 and 22 and 23 and 24. At least, you know, the men and the women, of course, are separate. But we will have all of the competitors hit the featured pairs at some point during this round. Guy Kaminsky has the front 5. It's going to be hard for me to update you on all the matches with so many going on at once. We've got 8 matches going on at once, but we'll try to update you on the scores after each game best we can. Sherry Tan, another strike, and she is rolling here against Maria Lourdes of the Philippines. And now we're tied in our men's match between Sweden and Russia. Some of the chat says this format is confusing. It's actually pretty easy. You've got 8 bowlers for the women and 8 bowlers for the women. Or for the men, I should say. 8 women, 8 men. And they're totally separate the whole time. As Hellstrom takes the lead by 10 in the match. So for example, let's run through it here. Sweden on the men's side. Sweden is bowling Russia this match. And then there will be 6 more games after this one, and they will bowl the other men that are still alive in the field. One time. 30 bonus spins for a win. And then at the end, the last game is number 1 versus number 2, number 3 versus number 4, etc. to determine the final 3 who make the step ladder finals. It's pretty easy. I think you'll get the hang of it as we go along here. That was a big strike by Parshikov of Russia. He can max out at 225. Hellstrom can strike out for 245. So if Hellstrom strikes here, he will win this first match. So a strike here to win the match for Hellstrom. Oh, and he gets 8. Now, Hellstrom can only shoot 223, so that means Parshikov needs a strike and 9 pins now for the shutout. So Parshikov must strike on this shot. It's going to get loud if he does. Oh, there it is. And a win, assuming he can get at least 9 on the last shot. Clutch finish there for the Russian. Guy Kaminsky has the front 7. So quickly on the women's side, Caroline Lagrange of Canada defeats Romania. Dominican defeats Aruba. USA defeats Finland. Singapore defeats Philippines here in match 1. There's the strike. And you can hear just how loud it is here in the bowling center for the Russian. 225 as he shuts out the Swede. So Russia defeats Sweden on the men's side. Israel is, looks like, on the way to a win against Mexico. We've got Germany going to pick up an easy win against Mats Maggie of Belgium, who's only shooting in the 170s maximum. And Guy Kaminsky is ahead of John Serbinsky going into the final couple of frames. Yeah, Guy's got a sizable lead on John in the near the end of the game. As match number 1 is wrapping up. On some of the other pairs, every match is decided. It's just waiting for the final scores. Yeah, just wrapping up here, final frames of match number 1. Avram and Vasquez on the men's side still 3 frames, 2.5 frames to go here. So, you know, we said that it was really tight on the men's side, and so when the standings are that tight, one bad game could really hurt you. And right now, Matt Maggi just bowled 164, and Humberto Vasquez, Mexico, is going to shoot less than that. You can see Humberto off to the far right side of your screen, and he just had an open. He's got 112 in the 8th. Match number 2 forthcoming. Next match on the women's side, it's going to be Lagrange versus Guerra. Heck of a matchup on the women's side. The top 2 players in the standings coming into today are going to be our featured match on the women's side. Couldn't ask for much better than that. Other matches on the women's side this time: Finland versus Philippines, USA versus Singapore, Romania versus Aruba. And the women are going to go ahead and get started. It's good that they're not going to make them wait. There's no reason to make them wait, as we've still got 2 matches finishing up on the guys' side, so they're just going to let them go when they're ready. And maybe that means we don't have to hear the whistle too much today. Both Almy and Carolyn failed to strike first shot. So our men's featured match is going to be Bodo Konieczny of Germany against Guy Kaminski of South Africa. Very cute. Guy and Bodo were taking a picture together before their match. Someone asking a very astute question in the chat. The totals on your screen on the right side of their name do not include bonus pins. But the standings are updated on the QubicaAMF website right now. And so you can check those out. It's got the update along with the wins and losses. The top 4 bowlers in the standings won their first match. So Caroline Lagrange still leads. She leads Almy by 85 pins, it looks like. Danielle McEwen still in 3rd place. Danielle is more than 200 pins behind 1st. Sherry Tan of Singapore is in 4th. And she trails Danielle McEwen by about 170 pins. Guy Kaminski not real thrilled that the messenger did not take out the 10 on that shot. Watching live coverage of the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thank you for tuning in to watch our live coverage of the round of 8 match play here at the World Cup. Almy with a missed single pin in the 4th, so Caroline Lagrange has the lead here by 10 pins in the the women's match. Just underway in the men's match. Just getting an update on the men's standings, and Avram of Israel has taken the lead overall by 4 pins. Peter Hellstrom in second. Guy Kaminsky has moved up to third. John Serbinski now 4th place. Bodo Konieczny 5th. Mats Maggie drops all the way to 6th. Alexei Parshikov 7th, and Humberto Vasquez in 8th. So still very, very close on the men's side, and you can find the standings at QubicaAMF.com. Tough match here between Carolyn and Almi. Pretty low scoring in comparison to what we have seen out of these two bowlers all week long. Right now, Carolyn with a 20-pin lead, but staring down a split here in the 6th. Thanks, everybody, for the nice compliments in the chat. Much appreciated. Always nice when you got a lot of folks tuning in to watch the live streaming. Open frame for Carolyn. So if Almi can make her spare here, she can pull to within 8. Wow, almost missed it. This is some strange match, isn't it? See what Almi does here in the 7th, and she gets a strike. See Craig Woodhouse kind of standing in the way there. Coaches down in the settee area today, kind of blocking the view a little bit. Not too much I can do about that, unfortunately.
Rubbish? What's wrong?
So 3 frames to go between Dominican and Canada on the women's side, and it's a 8-pin lead for Carolyn. And Almy just took the lead with a strike there. She now leads by 2. I'm actually going to try to raise this camera a little bit. I don't have a lot that I can go up on it, but it should help a little when the coaches are in the way. Carolyn can take the lead back with a strike. And a little love on the 9. Yes, ma'am. Double on the board for both of them. And back to a 8-pin lead for Carolyn Lagrange. Men's match. Bodo with the split in the 5th. Guy made the split in the 4th. And Guy leads by 9 here in match number 2. Almy trying to grab the lead again. Leaves a 10-pin. Carolyn can go in complete control of this match if she throws another strike. It's a pretty tight bowling area here in this center, and that's why you see the coaches so close to the players up there. Bodo Konieczny, Germany, up on the right side, I should say. And he is trailing by 9 at this stage, halfway through game 2, and that was a tough break on a light 7. I didn't catch who won on the low-end match for the women that game, but Singapore defeats USA, Aruba defeats Romania, and looks like Carolyn is going to easily beat Almy here, and Carolyn's going to build on her lead here. By the way, the Aruban shot 276 that game, but Carolyn is going to build on her lead here in game 2, so she already was in pretty good position, going to increase it even more. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You're watching our live coverage of the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Please share the link on Facebook and Twitter. I want to get as many viewers as we can here for this round of 8. Let everybody know that we've got live bowling for you right here on Bowl TV. Up to about 850 viewers. Our max for the week is around 930, so certainly want to beat that. We'd love to get to 1,000 in this round, and hopefully well over 1,000 for the finals later today. And again, the women's semifinal and final TV show is scheduled for 2 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, which is going to be 1 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, 7 a.m. in Central European time. And then the men are scheduled for 2 hours after that. So that would be 4 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, 3 a.m. in the United States on the East Coast, and 9 a.m. Central European time. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. The TV crew's all set up. They've got the cameras already set up down the lanes, and they are going to provide me with a feed from their cameras for the finals so that we have a great show for you here. It'll be their cameras and my commentary for the stepladder finals for the men and the women. At least that's the plan. Hopefully we can get the technology to match up. And we'll be testing that a little bit later. Don't have much of a break, but we'll be figuring that out after they get finished up with this round. Carolyn with a 212 to 177 win over Almiguera of the Dominican. The men bowling much slower, already about a half a game behind the women. Hear a lot of cheers for the Russian down there. That's pretty much the only one that people are cheering for at this stage. Still a 10-pin deficit for Bodo here against Guy in our men's match as they are wrapping up here, and not a very high scoring match either. Scores are lower today. I think they were a little bit lower yesterday at times too, and right now the scores are not very high. A little bit surprised by that. I thought we'd see higher scores. We're going to have Romania versus Finland in the women's next match. We're still finishing match 2 on the men's side. And Guy Kaminsky still up by 10 on Bodo Konieczny. Humberto Vasquez leads Alexei Pershikov of Russia by 11 pins going into the 9th and 10th frame. They're both stringing strikes, and that's why the Russian fans are cheering. Once again, please share the link for the live streaming on Facebook and Twitter. And let everybody know that we've got the live streaming for you right here on Bolt TV. It's occurred to me that we have 3 lefties in the women's division. Romania, Finland, and Singapore. And on the men's side, I don't think we have any lefties. Guy looking to cover up the spare here, and he does. Hooks it at it. Bodo with a chance to even the match if he can strike here in the 9th. Cheers here are for the Russian, who just struck first shot in the 10th to lock up a win against Humberto Vasquez of Mexico. And Bodo ties up the match here with Guy Kaminsky. updated women's standings just coming in. Caroline Lagrange has increased her lead to 150 pins over Almi Guerra, who's still in second place. Danielle McEwen is in third, 122 pins behind second place. And then Sherry Tan of Singapore is in fourth place, 109 pins from third. And Maria Lourdes of the Philippines is in fifth, and she's 126 pins from third. Tashiana Saris of Aruba is 273 back. Rusa Lunden is 296 pins back, and Luminita Farkas is 500 pins back third. So, take an awful lot for those three to make a run at the top three at this stage. The matchups this game for the women, it's Aruba versus USA, Philippines versus Canada, Singapore versus Dominican, Romania versus Finland. On our men's side, Bodo Konietzny with the 8-10 split. And that's going to seal his fate here. He's going to lose this match against Guy Kaminsky, unless he can find a way to make this, and he doesn't. So Guy Kaminsky just needs 9 pins on his 2 shots here in the 10th frame to win by 1. Win by 2. Yeah, Guy just needs 9 pins on 2 shots to secure the victory. So here's the shot. Let's see if he can seal it up. And he does, and that's a victory for Guy Kaminsky here in match number 2. John Cervinsky is going to defeat Mats Maggi in match 2. Russia defeats Mexico. And it looks like Or Abram Vizriel defeated Peter Hellstrom to what I would presume be increase his lead on Peter. They were just right at the top of the standings next to each other, so it should create a little separation between those two. You can see John Cervinsky off to the right just threw his 6th consecutive strike. Mick wants to know when next year's World Cup would be announced, and I'm not sure. I have no information. I know that typically they announce it like in February, so I would guess probably sometime around then. It's going to be the 50th World Cup, so I would assume they're going to try to do something special. Guy Kaminsky with a great finish to close out a win here against Bodo Konietzny. See John Cervinsky off to the right. He just struck out for 255. He beats Mats Maggi, who shot 203. So Mats Maggi going the wrong direction here this morning in the round of 8. Zach wants to know if the featured pairs will be 1 versus 2 in the position round. Yes, that's the plan. Belgium versus Mexico for our next men's match. They are just starting Game 3 on the men's side. The women are in the 7th frame of Game 3. An opening frame for Mats Maggie. He's just having a nightmare start to this morning round of 8. Just dreadful for him. Ten-pin lead for Romania here in our women's match. They got a couple of frames to go. Neither one of these players really has a great chance to make it into the step ladder. Benjamin wants to know my highest 3-game series. That would be 794. Not nearly high enough to compete with these bowlers, though. We've got some great bowlers out here in the round of 8 competing here at the World Cup. At the end of this round of 8, we'll have the top 3 men and the top 3 women for the semifinal and final. Just getting the men's standings in. It's so close. Or Avram has built a 48-pin lead on Peter Hellstrom now. Guy Kaminsky still in 3rd, but he's only 5 pins out of 2nd. And then John Serbinsky of Team USA is in 4th place. 52 pins outside of 3rd. And Alexei Parshikov of Russia now just 74 pins outside of 3rd place. Mats Maggie 143 back of 3rd, Bodo Konieczny 151, and Humberto Vasquez 223. So look at the men's standings at the bottom of your screen here. women's side here, match number 3, Aruba defeats Team USA's Danielle McEwen. Got Canada beating Philippines. Dominican gonna beat Singapore. And Romania defeat Finland. Men's side, we're still just in the third, fourth frame of match number 3. Vasquez with a double. Let's see if we can put the women's standings up. That doesn't seem to be working. There we go. Now we've got the women's standings up for you. It would help if I typed it in right. Naomi Guerra of the Dominican going to be in the 270s this game. But the bad news for Naomi, she shoots 278. She only picks up 1 pin on Carolyn Lagrange because Carolyn shot 277. So some big scores this game for the women. The women are going to transition into game 4. It's confirmed with one of our tournament directors that the women will indeed start at 2 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time here. And the men is scheduled to start at 4 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, but that could change because we've got some VIPs who are coming. Supposedly the mayor of Krasnoyarsk wants to come and watch the finals, so that 4 p.m. may be adjusted a little bit based on his schedule. But we'll keep you posted on Twitter when we have any changes, or if we have any changes to the schedule. So follow me on Twitter at Lucas_Wiseman is the best place to get information on things like that. Just dreadful for Mats Maggie today. He just doesn't have it. 75 in the 5th, and He has had a great week. He's bowled so well all week, but now the wheel's just coming off at the wrong time. And here are the cheers for the Russian, just threw his 5th consecutive strike. He's bowling Bodo Konieczny down there. It's a pretty tight match. Women's standings look like they're updated after 3 matches. By the way, you see the numbers there. The first number is the position, then the name, the country, the total, the average, the number of total games, wins, ties, losses. It's a lot of information there, but that is all of the info that's on there. And Mr. Prank wants to know what time Central Time. So let's run through that. The women are at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time for their stepladder, and that's going to be 1 a.m. on the East Coast in the United States. So that would be midnight for you in the Central Time Zone, and 7 a.m. Central European Time. So again, the men are bowling slower than the women today, and so they are still in Game 3, the women in Game 4. The Russian made a split down there. I think it's kind of cool that the Russian player made it into the round of 8, because it has really dramatically increased the number of people in the bowling center and the amount of noise. So it's very interesting to have the local player make it into the round of 8. Very exciting for them, for the bowling fans here. Scroll the men's scores for a few minutes at the bottom of the screen for you. Alan wants to know if I ever thought I'd be broadcasting from Russia when the live streaming began. That's a good question. And actually, the first event that we ever live streamed here on Bowl TV was the World Women's Championships in Las Vegas. So, no, I didn't think that I would end up live streaming in Russia, but I always knew it was a possibility that we would live stream international events when we started this. Again, our coverage is brought to you by Bowl TV and in cooperation with QubicaAMF. We've got a nice partnership with QubicaAMF and Bowl TV. Bowl TV, of course, is a product of the United States Bowling Congress, and we volunteer our time to come out here and do the live streaming. So, yep, came to Russia as a volunteer to do live streaming. So, it's always a lot of fun to be able to bring you guys the action here on Bowl TV, because I know a lot of people want to watch this, and it's very exciting to watch. And you can hear just in the crowd in the background that it's pretty cool, you know, what's going on here. And it looks like Parshikov is going to defeat Bodo Konieczny in this game. Got a tight match between John Serminsky and Or Abram of Israel right now. I mean, on the men's side, it's so important to win every match right now so that you get the bonus spins, because it's very, very close on the men's side. You can see the standings at the bottom of your screen or QubicaAMF.com. But the standings are so tight. Not only is every strike or shot critical, every win is just a must-win at this point. Especially in a match like what's going on to the right of our men's featured pair right now, Guy Kaminsky against Peter Hillstrom. I mean, that's the guys who are battling for second and third right now, and they got a heck of a match going on. Russian shot 247. Pick up the win against Bodo Konecny of Germany. Alan wants to know if it's being held at a big convention center because it sounds cavernous. It's actually very tall ceilings here in this bowling center. This is a 15-story building. The bowling center is on the 3rd floor, but the lanes have floors 3 and 4 open above it, so it's actually 2 stories for the bowling center where the lanes are. But back here on the concourse where I am, I'm sitting under a ledge which goes up, and then the 4th floor is a billiards hall with windows that overlook the lanes. So it's a very tall ceiling here in the bowling center. Put the women's standings up for you once again. Try to change that every once in a while and let you see the scores for each division. Guy Kaminsky defeats Peter Hillstrom in a high-scoring match, 248-225. And it looks like John Cervinsky is in good shape against Or Avram of Israel. John can shoot 238, and Or is going to be at 206 this game. Taking a moment to answer some tweets that have come into me. And if you want to tweet me, you can tweet me at Lucas_Wiseman. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Mercedes sent me a picture of her setup. She's got the laptop hooked up to the HD TV watching in high definition. Beautiful thing, looks amazing in high definition. So feel free to send me a tweet at Lucas_Wiseman. And if you want to show me a picture of your live stream setup, if you've got something cool going, if maybe you're watching on the big screen TV, something like that, feel free to send that to me. Not a very competitive matchup here. Match 3 on the men's side. Humberto Vasquez just destroys Matt's Maggie here. Matt's with only a 178 again. Just a nightmare start to the round of 8 for him. Shayna from Aruba. Bobala shot, but leaves a 10 pin. And she leads by 54 pins in this match against the Filipino. Game 4 coming to a close for the women, and Game 4 just about to get started for the men. It's going to be Israel versus Germany on the men's match for this round of matches. Curious to see what the men's standings look like when they come in. Yeah, they've just updated here. Guy Kaminsky has now moved into the lead, the South African. And a lot of movement at the top of the standings so far today. Guy Kaminsky, South Africa, in the lead. Or Abram of Israel in second. Peter Hellstrom of Sweden is now third. And John Serbinsky, Team USA, in fourth place. And he is now just 14 pins behind third place. And Alexei Parshikov of Russia, only about 25 pins or so outside of third. Bodo Kodietsny also very close. Things are very fluid on the men's side and has changed quite a bit already today. And we still have games 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 left. So a lot of games left, but at this point, every game it seems like somebody new is leading. Bombala for the Rubin. She's going to be in the 240s this game. If she keeps up like this, she might make a run here at third place. She's pretty far behind, but she keeps popping big games. You never know. Looks like Finland defeats Dominican on the women's side. Romania going to defeat Singapore, and Canada going to defeat USA. In addition to Aruba beating Philippines. As Game 4 comes to a close on the women's side. Men's side just getting started with the fourth game. Women still pulling their final shots here of this game, and you can hear that the Russian has gotten even a little closer to us here. He is one pair to the right of our featured pair, taking on John Serbinsky of Team USA this game, so it's USA versus Russia this one, and Israel versus Germany on the featured pairs, or Avram right there with a strike in the third, and we're tied up through 3 frames on the men's side. Ten-pin lead for Barshikov against Zerbinski after 4 frames in the match next door to our featured pair. Looks like the women's standings are updated after 4 games. Carolyn should be in the lead still. Yes, she is. 4-0 in her matches today. And she is almost 200 pins ahead of Almy, who's in second. Danielle McEwen still in third place. Sherry Tan of Singapore is in fourth, and Sherry still about 90 pins back. The women's starting to tighten up a little bit in the race for the third slot. Nothing determined yet. Yeah, we're almost at the max of our for the week. Our audience, 928 people watching. So I think our max a couple of nights ago was 930, so hopefully we can get that number up over 1,000 during this squad. That would be the goal. So please spread the link around, share it on Facebook, Twitter, let everybody know you're watching the live streaming here on Bull TV. Final day here at the World Cup. Gonna get loud if he strikes. Yeah, the Russian just struck off to the right. Tried to give you a little bit of a warning. But the Russian now with 5 strikes in a row against Team USA's John Serbinsky off to the right of our featured pair. After the round of 8 is concluded here, the top 3 men and top 3 women are going to advance to the semifinal and final this afternoon. Or Avram, 3 strikes in a row. Got Danielle McEwen versus Luminita Farkas of Romania in our women's match. These are the kind of matches Danielle has to win. Bowling against the Romanian who is near the bottom of the standings. Can't afford to not win matches like this if you want to stay in the top 3. Another strike for Avram. Orr's trying to make his push to get back into first place. Guy Kaminsky, though, with a spare and 4-bagger, so right now Guy is holding his own. It's going to get loud again if Alexei Parshikov strikes again. He's off to see him on the far right side of your screen. And he left the 10-pin. Double for him. He trails big here against Or Avram in match number 4. Thanks everybody for watching. This is the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. I'm Lucas Wiseman at Bull TV, at Lucas Wiseman, at Lucas_Wiseman on Twitter. Appreciate you tuning in. QubicaAMF, the ones who put this great event on year after year. So our thanks to QubicaAMF. Not only for putting on this tournament, but also for the fantastic installation of these lanes here in Krasnoyarsk. Beautiful facility. Reach our high number of viewers for the week. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Focus of Romania with the front five. Playing spoiler here for Danielle McEwen. Almigera to the left has the front five in this game. Just through the sixth one. Another strike for Or Avram. That is 6 in a row. On his way to a win, it looks like, against Bodo Konieczny, but not completely over yet. Heck of a match right now between Humberto Vasquez and Guy Kaminski of South Africa down there on 29 and 30. They both have started with a spare and 7 consecutive strikes. Or Avram, another strike. Can max at 280 this game. And Bodo can only shoot 249. Please spread the word about the live streaming, folks, on Facebook and Twitter. Really appreciate it if you could post the link to the live streaming on your Facebook and your Twitter and try to get your friends to watch as well. Up to 942 viewers. Really just need 58 more to get to 1,000, which would be a beautiful thing. So please try to help us out. Get us to that 1,000 number. It would be very much appreciated. Almigera at the front 7 to the left of our featured pair. Still got Mexico, South Africa. Both can strike out for 290 down on 29 and 30, so that's a sick match down there. Danielle McEwen, 6th frame. Going to need a heck of a comeback to win this match against Luminita. It's not looking good for Danielle. And Sherry Tan of Singapore has gone spare four-bagger, so she is making the push this game. This could be the game that Sherry Tan jumps ahead of Danielle McEwen for the first time in days. Well, Humberto Vasquez of Mexico is giving Guy Kaminsky all he can handle down there. Humberto just doubled him to 10th. If he strikes again, he's at 290. But Guy Kaminsky can strike out for 290 as well. Guy's up on the approach right now. Second shot in the 10th. Oh, and he had a messenger come across, and he let out a big reaction. Pretty funny. I wish that match was on our camera. $249 for Bodo Konietzki, and or Abram going to be at $259. Almiguero at the front 9. Humberto Vasquez just struck on the last ball for 290. That is too interesting down there to not show it to you, so I'm going to show it to you here. Give me a moment to adjust the camera here. It's really down there far away. Guy Kaminsky. So Humberto Vasquez shot 290 at him, and Guy can strike on the last ball here for 290 for the tie. I'm going to keep it on Guy. Look at the reaction. Oh no, he left the 10 pin and he loses the match 290 to 289. It's like it was a heck of a match down there between those two guys. So now we come back out where Danielle McEwen is in some trouble here against Luminita. And Danielle just doesn't have it. So let's go over to Almiguera, who has the front 9. Ten in a row for the Dominican. You can see her coach, Craig Woodhouse, right there. Come back over and watch Danielle's spare shot here while we wait for Almi to go. Covers it up. All right, so Almi ready to go, working on the front 10. $11 in a row for Almi. Could have our first perfect game of the day. This is why you tell your friends to tune in right here, folks. This is why you post the links, to see action like this here on Bowl TV. So here we go. Almiguera, the Dominican Republic, with 11 strikes in a row to start this match. Oh, 299 for Almi. 1 pin short. A great game though, $2.99 for Almigata. We've got John Cervinsky against Peter Hellstrom. On our men's match. Great games there. As Almi shoots $2.99, and then we had the Humberto Vasquez $2.90 to $2.89 win over Guy Kaminsky. Trying to see if we've updated men's standings. Looks like we do. Alexei Parshikov has moved into 4th position. John Zerminski has fallen a little bit behind here. Guy Kaminsky still in the lead. Or Avram in 2nd. Peter Hellstrom in 3rd. Alexei Parshikov of Russia in 4th. And John Cervinsky in 5th. Again, those are the men's standings after match number 4. Well, looks like the women's standings not quite updated yet after match number 5, but they should be soon. So stand by for that. Yeah, it looks like the women's standings updated now on the bottom of your screen. Of course, Caroline Lagrange of Canada still in 1st place. But Almigata has closed the gap to 79 pins. Sherry Tan of Singapore, as I expected, has moved up into 3rd place and is is 26 pins ahead of Danielle McEwen. And Thashania Saris of Aruba is making her move as well, closing the gap to third place. Really loud for the Russian down there. They're trying to will him into the stepladder, and it will be crazy in here if the Russian makes a stepladder. Men's standings back on the bottom of the screen for you. You can find the standings yourself at QubicaAMF.com. If you want to view them at your leisure, you can see exactly where we stand here. Hellstrom leading John Serminski by 3 pins after 5 frames. And a pretty low-scoring match. Looks like this match, Guy Kaminsky is bowling Or Avram. And Or right now has got the upper hand. This is a big match between Hellstrom and Serminski. It's 92 pins separating these two, so if John wins, he would cut that to 62 automatically by the 30 bonus pins, plus whatever total he would beat Peter by, but Peter can extend his lead pretty significantly if he can win this match with just 3 matches to go. Still a 3-pin lead for Hellstrom. Thanks to everybody who has posted the link to the live streaming. If you haven't yet, please post it on Facebook and Twitter and let everybody know to watch the end of this match play round. We've just got about 2.5 games left for the women, and a little more than 3 games for the men left. You can hear the Russian fans cheering down on the high end of the bowling center. Alexei Parshikov can shoot 250 this game. May not be enough to win, though. Mats Maggie can shoot 260. And it has not been a great day for Team USA's Danielle McEwen. And she just left a split for an open in the 5th. 96 in the 5th frame for her. So she has been going the wrong direction today. Almi Geta a couple opens this game. She's losing to the Romanian. In this one, I feel pretty safe to say that Carolyn Lagrange and Almi Geta are going to be on the are going to advance into the next round. You've got Carolyn 463 pins ahead of third, and Almi's 384 pins ahead of third. So, pretty good chance that those two are going to advance. I mean, I think that's pretty certain. So you've got just one more spot left on the women's side, and it'll be either Sherry Tan, Danielle McEwen, or Tashana Saris or Ruma is what it looks like. So you got 3 bowlers on the women's side going for 1 spot. That's what it comes down to. Men's side, not so cut and dry. A lot of possibilities on that side, as it's very close. Only 140 pins or so separating first from 5th. Peter Hellstrom can take the lead back with a strike, and he leaves a 10-pin. John Serminski leads by 6 as they gear up for the 10th frame in that match. The Russian wins again, and he's going to be in the 250s this game. He's going to beat Mats Maggie of Belgium. Ursa Lunden of Finland, lefty with the front 7. John Serminski, strike first shot in the 10th. He throws one more, he would have shut out Peter Hellstrom. Bad news for both these players is that they are going to lose ground to the Russian no matter what. Yeah, it's possible that the Russian could be in third place after this game. In fact, it looks likely, I think. If John Serbinsky wins this game, I think that the Russian might move up to third. John Serbinsky with a double, so that's going to virtually lock up the win for him here in this game. So he'll pick up 30 very important bonus pins against Peter Hellstrom. But neither of them bowling a huge game. Serbinsky shoots 216 and picks up the win, but loses ground to Alexei Parshikov because Alexei shot 256 down there, so he picked up another 40 pins on John. Now front nine for Rusa Lunden here on our featured pair. Looking to hand Sherry Tan a loss here. Looks like she will defeat Sherry Tan. And Sherry right there in third place. Not a good time to be picking up a loss here. Never a good time for a 10-pin like that. Almy only shot 187 that game and lost to a 258 by Romania. So Shayna of Aruba made a nice run at this thing, but I think she's in some trouble now. She's going to lose against Caroline Lagrange and only shoot in the 170s. Oh, 1,000 viewers. Thank you very much, guys. It's fantastic. First time this week we've gotten there. Or Avram going to pick up a win against Guy Kaminsky. Or is going to shoot 237 and Guy only at 211. And Rusa Lunden just left the 7-pin to end the string of strikes for her. So no 300 game here. Really do appreciate you guys watching. It's always nice to see so many bowling fans out here watching the live streaming on Bowl TV. If you're just tuning in, we're watching the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. And I'm Lucas Wiseman of Bowl TV in Krasnoyarsk, Russia. And yes, I did practice a lot to learn how to say that. Krasnoyarsk. Rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? We've got 2 more games to go on the women's side after this one wraps up. Still yet 3 games to go on the men's side. .278 for the Finn. She picks up the win against Sherry Tan of Singapore. So they're just finishing up here, game number 6 for the women, and getting ready to start game number 6 for the men. We're going to have the Russian Parshikov versus the Israeli Avram for game number 6 on the men's side, which means it'll be probably pretty loud here for this game as the Russian fans are cheering on their guy. Well, game 7 is Team USA's Danielle McEwen against Dominican Republic's Almigueta. Again, the men's match is Israel versus Russia. You can see the updated men's standings at the bottom of your screen. Right now, first is South Africa, second Israel, third Russia, fourth Sweden, and fifth USA. Sorry, Israel in first, South Africa second. women's standings updated at the bottom of your screen. Sherry Tan still in third place. Danielle McEwen is just 12 pins back, though. 12 pins behind Sherry Tan. So it looks like it's going to come down to Danielle versus Sherry for the last spot in. This is the last game on the women's side before we have the position round, where it'll be 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4. And it looks like that match, the significance of that round is going to be the 3 versus 4 match, with Danielle McEwen probably bowling Sherry Tan. So if I would have to guess, I would say that it'll come down to that match on the women's side to determine the final player in the semifinal and final. It's a stepladder. It's still not impossible for the Aruban or the Finn to make a run here in these last 2 games. But they're both more than 100 pins out of third. So they would need a big finish. But with the 30 bonus pins, really, it's not that hard to overcome 100 pins. But it really doesn't feel like a whole lot positive has happened today for Danielle McEwen. She definitely does not have the momentum on her side. For those of you just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup here on Bowl TV. Last game before the position round for the women. It's game 6 for the men, so they've still got a game and a half to go before their position round. Alexei Barshkov from Russia. That'll get the crowd ignited. He gets a strike on that shot. Taking on Orr Avram this game. Matchup of number 1 versus number 3. Singapore's Sherry Tan has started with 4 strikes in a row. Danielle McEwen desperately needs a win here against Naomi Guerra, and that is difficult to deal with. 8-pin for Danielle on a shot that would have narrowed the gap to back to 12, but now she's down 22 against Almy. We've had the women's standings scrolling long enough, so we'll switch it over to the men here. On the bottom of the screen. Almy with another strike. I think it's going to be a real interesting position round coming up for the women as the crowd gets awfully loud for the Russian. Danielle just can't carry. She's going to have a lot of work to do in the last game if she wants to make it into the stepladder, and Sherry Tan now has the front 5. So this is quickly slipping away from Danielle McEwen here. Oh, or Abram just took out the 7-10 for the double. I'm sorry, for a strike. He leads by 13 pins against the Russian. John Cervinsky down on lanes 29 and 30 leads Bodo Konieczny by 22 pins as they are in the 6th frame. Another strike for the Russian, 3 in a row for Parshikov. And he has now pulled to within 13. Actually, he's pulled to within 3 with that triple. Almy leaves a 10-pin. Danielle just can't find a way to strike. And Sherry Tan has got the front 6. I think that Danielle is in some trouble. It's looking good for Singapore here. But one more game to go after this one, so you just don't know what's going to happen. I think it looks real good for Caroline Lagrange to maintain the top seed for the stepladder. And Almy Guetta, the number 2 seed. And the number 3 seed still to be determined. Men's side still very close. I don't think anybody's locked on yet to the semifinal, to the stepladder. Just too close to call at this stage. Another strike for the Russian. Four in a row now. Parshikov can strike out for 246. Or Avram can strike out for 259. So Or Avram still has the advantage a little bit here. Danielle McEwen with a strike in the 9th, but down by 32 against Almiguera. Sherry Tan now has the front 7, down on lanes 15 and 16. Big shot here for Orr Avram. Oh, 3-6-10. Makes the spare. It's actually tied right now with that count by Orr. Parshikov and Avram are tied with 2 frames to go, although Parshikov with the advantage, having the 4 strikes in a row. Sherry Tan left a 7-pin in the 8th to end her string, but she's still putting up a huge game, and she is looking more and more solid for the number 3 spot, especially with Danielle McEwen only bowling 180 this game. Another strike for Parshikov. The Russian fans are getting into it. It's going to be rowdy in here if he makes the step ladder. Should make for an interesting show. Still a long way to go on the guys' side. They got 2 more games to go after this one. The women only have 1 game left. Caroline Legrand shot 259, 244 win over Rusa Lunden of Finland. Another strike. And the Russian is looking like he is going to win this game. Another strike puts him into the 240s. It'll be 246. That is the winning shot right there, or can only shoot 236. So that one does lock up the win for sure for Parshikov. Last shot here for the Russian is 8 count, 244. As he picks up the win against Avram. Or finishing it up here, he can only shoot 236, so not going to be enough. By the way, Sherry Tan of Singapore, 279. So I think that Sherry Tan is solidly in position for the number 3 spot. So we may not have that much drama on the women's side in the final position round match. And they're going to have a slight delay here while they get the women set up for the position round. Looks like our scores are updated on the bottom of the screen for the women after 7 games. And Caroline Lagrange is in. She's going to be the top seed, it looks like. Yeah, Caroline's going to have the top seed. Almy's going to get the number 2 spot. Sherry Tan, like I said, looks like she's solidly in 3rd. Yeah, 137 pins is the difference between 3rd and 4th. And so that is a very large margin with 1 game to go. Just waiting for the position round to start on the women's side. It looks like the names are popping up now. So the women's position round. Getting ready to start. We're going to have Caroline Lagrange versus Almy Guerra. Mexico versus USA in our men's game number 7 on the featured pair. The women are ready to get going here. Well, in order for Danielle McEwen to make the semifinal, or the stepladder finals, she would need to beat Sherry Tan by 108 pins this game. And that is just probably not going to happen. So I think that our top 3 for the women are pretty much set. Carolyn Lagrange first, Almigueta of the Dominican Republic second, and Sherry Tan of Singapore third. Now, if for some reason it looks like Danielle might somehow make a run at this thing, I'll let you know, but it seems very unlikely to me. It looks like Danielle's going to finish either 4th or 5th. Men's side, still wrapping up game 7 here. We're just starting game 7, I should say. So the women about a full game ahead. Let's give you the men's standings on the bottom of the screen here. Looks like they are updated after 6. And you've got Or Avram of Israel still in first place. Guy Kaminsky of South Africa only 6 pins behind. Alexei Barshigov of Russia still in 3rd place, and he's not that far behind first either. Peter Hellstrom of Sweden is about 90 pins back of 3rd. John Serminski right there in about the same position. So it is possible we could still have some drama on the men's side if Serminski and Hellstrom bowl good games here in game 7. That would tighten things up. We'll have to keep an eye on what the Russian does as well. And to be honest, I mean, I don't think anybody at this point on the men's side is locked into the top 3. It could be anybody based on what I'm seeing. Got Or Avram of Israel first place by 6 pins and 30 pins ahead of 3rd. Guy Kaminsky in 2nd, just 24 pins ahead of 3rd, and then Alexei Parshikov is 3rd. Peter Hellstrom 88 pins off the pace in 3rd place, and John Serminski 93 pins off the pace for 3rd place with 2 games to go. John Serminski has started with a double here this game, and he's going to need a big game to make a push into the stepladder. John's up on the approach right now. I think this is the kind of game where John needs to shoot about 260, 270 and win. Like I said, not much drama on the women's side, but I will let you know if anything interesting starts happening on that side. The women's stepladder is going to begin at 2 p.m. Krasnoyarsk time, which is 1 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, and that would be 7 a.m. Central European time. And it looks like your top three for the women, Canada, Dominican, Singapore, is pretty solid at this point. John Cervinski, Team USA. Strike in the fourth. Lead to this match by 10 against Humberto Vasquez of Mexico. Hear the cheers for Parshikov, who just got a double. He is bowling Guy Kaminsky this game. So that's a pretty important matchup. Vasquez with a strike, and that evens the match with Cervinski after 4 frames. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope that you will join us for future broadcasts here on Bowl TV. You can click the subscribe button right below the video you're watching here and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will also allow you to set up for email notifications when we post a new video here on Bowl TV, which is always very helpful. We do a lot of coaching tips. We do a lot of live streaming of other events. So we have a lot of stuff going on here at Bowl TV all the time. And you can always follow me on Twitter as well, at Lucas_Wiseman. I travel all over the place doing live streaming, so it's a good way to stay up to date with what's going on and when there's a broadcast happening here on Bowl TV. So follow me at Lucas_Wiseman. And don't forget to follow QubicaAMF on Twitter, at QubicaAMF, and like the Facebook page for the World Cup. The official Facebook page for the QubicaAMF World Cup is at facebook.com/QubicaAMF World Cup. Or you can just go to Facebook and search for Bowling World Cup. Make sure you like that page. And if you aren't able to stay up with us to watch the finals, it will be available on demand after the fact. You'll be able to go back and watch the stepladder finals for the men and the women anytime you want to, right here on our Bowl TV channel. And like I said, if you subscribe to the channel and you select to have an email notification when we upload a new video. When you get up, you will have an email directly to the link of the live streaming recording. So you may want to take a moment to subscribe to the channel and set up the email notification so you will know straight away when the recorded version is available of the live stream. And by the way, we're going to be hopefully tapping into the cameras for the TV show. They got a whole TV set down there, and hopefully be tapping into the cameras for the TV crew so we can have a great broadcast for you. Their cameras and my commentary for the finals. Umberto leaves a 10 pin on that shot. He leads by 9 pins on Cervinski here this game. Really a must-win game for John Cervinski. Guy Kaminsky just converted a 2-10 split in his match with Parshikov. And this men's field is going to be really intense in the final game, I think. Parshikov just struck again for 5 in a row against Kaminsky. Cervinski with a double to take the lead against Vasquez. Yeah, it's really shaping up that the position round match for the men is going to be intense. Danielle McEwen's bowling a good game, but just not going to have enough games left. Danielle's going to be in the 250s this game, but down 130, and Sherry Tan's shooting 220, so 220, so it's not enough of a turnaround for Danielle McEwen to get into the top 3. That's why it's going to be Canada, Dominican, Singapore in the stepladder finals. John Cervinski just left a 2-pin. And it is all tied up here in this one. Although Umberto Vasquez can strike again to take the lead. Oh man, the Russian just carried a bad shot for a strike for 6 in a row to take the lead against Guy Kaminsky. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, don't forget the stepladder finals coming up this afternoon. About 2 hours and 20 minutes now away from the women's stepladder, and about 4 hours and 20 minutes from the start of the men's stepladder. Men's is subject to change though. Both are subject to change times, starting times, but I'll keep you updated on Twitter and Facebook if we have any changes to the start times. But the women are wrapping up. Only a couple of more shots to go for the women here. Danielle McEwen finishes with 253, and she beat Sherry Tan's 212, but it's only a 71 pin plus for Danielle, so she finishes in 4th place and misses the stepladder by about 60 pins or so. But it is determined on the women's side officially now. It is Canada's Caroline Lagrange, the number 1 seed, the Dominican Republic's Almi Guerra, the number 2 seed, and Singapore's Sherry Tan, the number 3 seed for the TV show in the women's division. So that is now set in stone. So we can actually nudge the camera to the right so we can get a little bit more action for you on the men's side. Move the scoreboards over there for you. It's going to be really hard for me to get scoreboards on the other pair. I'll do my best, though. Finishing up here, game 7. We've got one more game to go. On the men's side, the position round is coming up. And Humberto Vasquez is going to shoot 247 here. John Cervinski only 227, so that's a tough loss for John Cervinski to take here. And it looks like he is going to be in trouble to make it into the stepladder. The Russian Parshikov stringing strikes down there into the 10th. He can shoot 266. And he's going to pick up a win. And you can hear him cheering down there for the Russian, as things are looking really good for him right now. Another strike for the Russian. It's a big game for him here down the stretch. As expected, we just got the final women's standings. It's exactly what we said. Canada, Dominican, Singapore, and Danielle McEwen misses the stepladder by 66 pins. Okay, we should have scoreboards now for 23, 24, 25, and 26 for the final game, as they are gearing up for the last match here. I think Parshikov may have moved into the lead. So stand by, about to get started here with the position round.
Один же. Игра восьмерка.
There's the updated standings. The Russian has moved into the lead officially now. Guy Kaminsky is in second place. Or Ivram is in third of Israel. Fourth place belongs to Peter Hellstrom of Sweden. Fifth place, John Serbinsky, Team USA. And it's going to be a heck of a position round here. So they should get started here any second. Looks like Guy Kaminsky's ready to go. Again, it's Russia versus South Africa, Israel versus Sweden. This Guy starts off with a strike. USA versus Mexico, Germany versus Belgium. Final match. Women are already done. This is men's division. Position round. So our last match is underway here. Got Parshikov in the lead by 41 pins over Guy Kaminsky. So that's virtually nothing in this match play format. Orr is in third, and he is 40 back of second. Peter Hillstrom is just 21 pins. Hillstrom just 21 pins behind Orr for the number 3 spot. And again, only 3 make it in. So it's going to be a real battle here. Essentially, it looks like the winner of the Israel versus Sweden match is going to be into the finals, although John Cervinski with an outside shot to still make it in. But he would need to bowl a really big game. Very slow start here to the position round. Orr starts with a double. A lot of possibilities here. Very crowded in here right now for this final position round match. Hillstrom up on the far right side of your screen here. Third frame. Picks up a double, down by 10. Actually, just evened it with that strike, technically. Parshikov. A double. three in a row to start for the Israeli. So he is up by 10 after 3 frames. Guy Kaminsky and Alexei Farshikov are tied right now. Guy just collapsed to the 2-8 for the strike. John Cervinski has the front 4. We can't forget about him. He's got an outside shot, but he needs the people ahead of him to bowl subpar games to be able to make as big a jump as he needs to make. Hellstrom leaves the 6-10. I think essentially John Cervinski needs to shoot probably 300 this game to have any sort of chance to make it. Farshikov. Oh, is it going to go? No, the 9-pin stays up. Ball was a little high. This is going to be about as close as of a finish as you can see in a position round. Alexei misses the single pin in the 5th. Guy Kaminsky looking to build on his lead here. John Cervinski left a split, by the way, for an open, so he's virtually done. Yeah, there's no chance for John Cervinski to make it in now, as he has opened in this game. So it looks like it's going to come down to the 4 bowlers on our pairs here. 3 of them are going to be in the semifinal, or are going to be in the stepladder, and 1 of them is going to be out. Right now, the odd man out is Peter Hellstrom of Sweden. If it ended right now. And Hellstrom with a split. 7-10 split for Hellstrom. And he is in a lot of trouble now. Russian is up. It's going to get loud if he strikes. Oh boy. An 8-10 split. The only good news for Alexei is that Peter Hellstrom is not bowling that well, only 95 in the 5th. You're watching the final game of match play here at the 49th QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Or Avram has the front 4. Or could very easily go from 3rd to 1st in this game if he bowled a big game, and he does now have the front 5. Guy Kaminsky sends a pin dancing in front of the 10 and can't get the strike. He leads by 23 with a spare. John Cervinski can shoot 260 this game, and I just don't think it's going to be enough. Guy makes the spare. So he leads by 23 here. Guy needs to win by 12. To get the top seed. And he needs to stay ahead of Or Avram. So there's a lot of different scenarios here in terms of seeding for the top three. Strike for Alexei Parshikov. I think at this point Alexei only needs to bowl about 170 or so to be safe. That is not a certainty just yet. Well, Guy Kaminsky with a 4-6-7 split here in the 7th frame. That will make things tighter. Guy fires it in there, and it's an open frame. Guy still leading by 9 pins with 3 frames to go. I think Peter Hellstrom of Sweden is done here. I think it's going to be Russia, South Africa, Israel in some order for the step ladder. Double for Parshikov as he takes the lead by a pin. Hellstrom with an open again. Guy Kaminsky leaves a 9 pin. Actually, it's a guy who needs about 100 and... Let's see here. If John Zeminski strikes out, he shoots 260. So Guy still has some work to do here, I think, to lock it up. Makes the spare. Guy Kaminsky needing 170 to be assured a spot, it looks like. And he is on pace to do that. Basically, it looks like Guy Kaminsky needs one mark in these final 2 frames to stay ahead of John Serbinsky. And that should lock Guy Kaminsky in here. Now, what order they're going to finish in, I'm not sure, but I'm feeling pretty confident that it's South Africa, Russia, and Israel in our semifinal, or in our stepladder finals in some order. John made a run at it with 258 that game, but the split in the 5th really doomed him. If he'd have shot 270, he may very well have made it in. 3-6-10 for Parshikov. We know that Or Abram is going to win his match. And Or was 81 pins behind Parshikov. Or can shoot 259 this game. And Parshikov looking at 202. So if the Russian strikes on this shot, Guy Kaminsky would need all 3 strikes in the 10th to move ahead of him in the standings. It is possible that we could have a tie for first place. Oh, that decreases the likelihood of a tie greatly. 200 for Alexei Parshikov. So Guy Kaminsky needs a double in the 10th to move ahead of Parshikov. Here it is. There's the first one. I think Guy knows what's going on here. If Guy Kaminsky strikes on this next shot, he will be, I believe, the #1 seed for the stepladder finals. So here it goes. He's got it. A double in the 10th for Guy Kaminsky. He needs 8 pins. 7 would be a tie for not this game, but for overall. I have no idea what happens if there's a tie, so Guy Kaminsky needs 8 on this shot. Here it is. Guy Kaminsky, and wow, he got 8. And by 1 pin, he stays ahead of Alexei Parshikov. Wow, that was very close to being 7 or less. And instead, he gets the 8 to win by 12.
Take your cameras, okay? Because I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so that moves Guy ahead of Alexei by a pin, and now Or, the Israeli, can shoot 247. And that would not be enough to get ahead of Guy, I don't believe. That would be about 5 pins difference. And it doesn't matter anyways. So we'll wait for the final standings here. We should have them very quickly after they throw these last shots. Again, the women's stepladder starts in an hour and 45 minutes. And the men's stepladder scheduled for 3 hours and 45 minutes from now. So figure out the time where you are. Orr wins his match 235 to 208. As that is the end of the round of 8 match play here at the QubicaAMF World Cup. So let's hang on and wait for the final
ladies and gentlemen, we will have
results.
The final results of the men's for you in just a couple of moments. But if I could just fill you in on the plan for the rest of the afternoon. We will have a break now until 2 p.m. when we will start the ladies' finals. It's 2 o'clock. So we will now prepare the arena area for the finals. We would like to ask you all to be back in the bowling centre no later than 1:30.
All right, here are the final standings, bottom of your screen. Guy Kaminsky, South Africa, takes the top seed, again by 1 pin over Alexei Parshikov of Russia. The number 3 seed for the stepladder, Orr Ephraim of Israel. And John Serbinsky of Team USA missing out, finishing in 4th place. Peter Hillstrom, Sweden, 5th. As we wrap things up here, again, we will have the women's semifinals starting in an hour and 45 minutes, and that'll be followed by the final. It's Caroline Lagrange of Canada, Almi Guerra of the Dominican Republic, and Sherry Tan of Singapore. So please join us back here in an hour and 45 minutes, continuing live coverage of the QubicaAMF World Cup. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thanks for joining us. See you back here in an hour and 45 minutes.